Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to my podcast. I'm Heimo Scheuch, the CEO of Wienerberger, and I'm honored to have a very special guest today, and I'm really pleased, Rick, that you could come. Rick Hathaway from Habitat for Humanity. We have a long partnership, you and us from Wienerberger, and have done and accomplished a lot in the last 10 years. But we're going to talk about it. But first, Rick, tell us a little bit about Habitat, please.
Thank you, Heimo, and thank you for having me here. Habitat is a global organization that focuses on providing housing for low-income families. And in a way that we do that is that families help to build their own homes with volunteers, some of them Wienerberger volunteers over the years. And it's a way for a family to have that cornerstone to help their family to develop. With a decent home, a family can have decent employment, education, health is benefits from that, but without a core home, that's very difficult. So Habitat focuses and works across 70 countries, many countries with Wienerberger, and providing decent shelter for families around the world.
Obviously, your home base, if I may say so, is in Georgia, in Atlanta.
Yes. Yeah.
And from there you developed in all the different countries, and you have a strong focus point also on Eastern Europe.
We do. We have our global offices in Atlanta. We have our Europe and Middle East office in Bratislava, and have projects in Hungary, Poland, Romania, Macedonia, Bulgaria, and many other places across the Middle East.
And I would say it is a very pragmatic and down-to-earth cooperation that both of our corporations have, because obviously we help a lot of people.
Absolutely, and we benefit from the great building products that Wienerberger is able to provide to the homes that we build, bricks, roof tiles, and I know piping now, and it just provides just a great opportunity for us to build more homes and to just help more families around the world.
And I think it's great that both of us, we don't only talk about providing shelter to people in need, but we do it.
Absolutely. And when a child grows up in a decent home, it just it allows them to dream dreams. A home is something we often take for granted, but a family that doesn't have much, well, that's really a burden. And our partnerships helps to remove that burden, so the next generation of children that grow up in that home will be able to fulfill all the dreams that they have and they develop with their parents inside that home.
Indeed, I think it's not only a dream, but it's also a necessity in this modern world. I think that we provide people with a decent home so that they can actually grow, raise children, raise a family, and provide them also with the necessary background for education so that they can grow then. And traveling, I just came back from the US and traveling through a lot of different states, you see also a tremendous need in the US actually to provide social housing, if I may say so.
Yeah, we find that often it's a generational, it's a cycle of poverty where children grow up in a home that is not adequate and they have to move quite often, and often when they're parents, it's the same situation, it's a cycle. We find, and we've done some studies where when a child grows up in a decent home, there's just that sense of accomplishment, especially when they help to build their home. And we're trying to help that next generation so that they won't need Habitat for Humanity and Wienerberger to help. They can actually help others.
I think I understand fully what you're saying, and we feel this also, because psychologically speaking, somebody who lives in a decent house, if I may say so, takes good care of himself, but also about the others. And literacy and also the aspect of healthcare play an important role.
Absolutely. I was in Romania last week and visited some homes where I believe we've worked together on in a part of Romania, and the family, they were hosting us. We had coffee together with them, and they talked about how that home had really changed their life. And they were talking about four walls and a roof, but they said, it's more than that. It showed them what happens when you help other people. And they said it really changed their outlook to how they could help their neighbors. And so housing is, it's not just a product, it's a process. And that's a helpful process when people can can see the difference they can make.
And housing, I think, when you look through history, is also part of the foundation of democracy. Because if you have your own house, you can really sort of live and can provide something and are part of society.
Really, that sense of security,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think also you would agree, I suppose, the most recent developments east from Vienna and going to the Ukraine, this horrible war and this injustice that is done to a lot of people that actually are in need, is something where obviously both we will move in and help them, hopefully not from long, and because the people that are on the ground are the most affected.
Absolutely. I was at the border in Romania last week while I was there, and just seeing the hardship, and it really struck me the faces of the teenagers who have had to say goodbye to their people that they left behind. Habitat is seeking to help them with some temporary shelter, and it's just at the same time it's encouraging to see how Romanians, people from Poland, are just opening their doors to welcome people in. And it shows you the compassion that people have in the midst of great hardship as well.
Even if they don't have a lot themselves, they help them. And I think that's the great part of it. And on the other side, you have people who destroy deliberately. And I think the good thing about our cooperation is that we create and give this hope and this chance to people to grow and to develop a new life.
Absolutely. And over 10 years in multiple countries in Europe and Great Britain and the United States, there's children now that have grown up in homes that we built together. Mm-hmm. And that's a real sustainable opportunity for families.
Indeed. And what I find interesting and what always struck me is your approach that they also help while building the house, so that they are part of it, they integrate it in this process, and then they value it even more.
That's right. We often say it's not a handout, but a hand up. Mm-hmm. An opportunity to help yourself, help their family, and to learn some skills along the way that can help you to maintain the house.
Indeed, and I think this is a very important aspect. Yeah, and I've seen it also with our volunteers, as you know, or the younger generation that has helped building the houses, especially in Bulgaria and Romania. I got very positive feedback because they saw the purpose in this whole adventure, I would say, in the work together and helping the people on the ground.
Yeah, it's been a great opportunity to work with the products that they're a part of producing, and we're so thankful for your training programs that connect to Habitat for Humanity, and it seems like that's a great part of the partnership.
Absolutely, I'm looking forward. We just signed for a couple of more years in front of us, and I hope that this good cooperation that we started more than 10 years ago, by the way, is now progressing, and I think we're moving in more and more countries, have good ideas, and we'll develop it further.
That's great. Now we look forward to continuing the partnership and engaging more Wienerberger staff along the way.
And I would say there's a lot to be done still for us.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Yeah. So we're looking really forward. Thank you very much, Rick, for being here. And ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for listening in, and hope to see you soon.